Hi,
Welcome
everyone.
back, everyone.
Welcome. Today we are doing conversation number 20, and our topic is
Milli Vanilli scandal.
Yes.
So, if you guys haven't heard of Milli Vanilli, they are a 1980s rock duo.
Yeah, they're a duo for sure.
So so let me tell you guys a story really quick. So we were having an 80s party, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna listen to 80s music and so we can have a playlist. And so I found them, and I know that when I was a kid I heard them because my uncle used to be a DJ. So I was like, oh yeah, this band. And so I don't know, I just really liked their music and them as people. So I decided we should talk about them. So Eileen's gonna start off with who are they?
Yeah. Who, right? So we're gonna start off with Frank Farian, which was a well-known German producer he's basically the one who discovered these two young men in the late 1980s. Fab Moven was French, and Rob Politis was German. So these are the two guys that were Milli Vanilli. They made up the band. And as they went around doing dance shows, Frank recruited Rob and Fab as new artists for a project that he was
working on.
Was working on. So I guess they kind of stood out to him, and he's like, okay, this is it.
Yeah,
these two dudes are
these two guys were like out doing these shows and they were dancing and performing, and he's like, oh, they have potential.
Yeah.
So
he's like, these are the type of dudes we need to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Frank gave the men a contract to sign, and they accepted it without question. And it's, if you see documentaries, not like, you know what I mean, like little
music
things,
documentaries,
that kind of inform you about them.
Yeah.
They say that they were just like in need of money, that they didn't really care to look at the contract
or have any representation.
Yeah, because they kind of wanted that fame, and they wanted money at the same time.
And they wanted it fast. Because usually when you're going to sign a contract for music, you'd have to have legal representation.
Yeah.
That way you're guided through it. Because it's a lot of like legal words and
that's
sometimes
true.
It's
and
crazy.
Yeah, sometimes you don't understand, and that's why you need someone who does. So Frank went on to explain that their job was to pretend to sing as well as dance for some songs that were already pre-recorded. So that's kind of what they signed up for.
Which they didn't know until the day of. So they were told, hey, we already got the song, so all you guys got to do is perform it. And so they thought, okay, maybe this is a first time thing. Maybe we're going to, later we're going to sing.
So Rob and Fab felt uncomfortable and were apprehensive in doing the job, but had no choice due to the contract signing.
Yes.
So in 1988, Rob and Fab released their new album, All or Nothing, with the hit single, Girl, You Know It's True, which is a really good song.
Yes, it is.
It is.
And the writer and producer of the song was Frank.
Oh, okay.
He's the one that wrote the song. Yeah.
It was really good. And the track gained international success. And in January 1990, Girl, You Know It's True was certified 6-time platinum after spending 7 weeks on top of the Billboard Top 200.
Yeah.
And so in February that same year, they went on to win a Grammy for Best New Artists. And you can understand why it got like platinum, man. It's a really good song.
It's a really good song. Yeah. It's catchy.
It is catchy.
The performance of the guys is, it's just pristine.
Yeah, it really is. It's great.
So, and it's kind of like bittersweet,
It is.
Yeah, what happened. But do you want to talk about it, or do you want me to talk about it? And then you talk. What do you want to do?
Yeah, you want to like start off and then...
Okay, so I'm going to start off with what happened. So, on July 21st of 1989, they were doing a live performance. And so it was an MTV performance, and they were in the middle of the song when all of a sudden the record, or this, whatever, I don't know where they were playing it, started skipping. So it was like a jam, and it started repeating the words, "Girl, you know it's true. Girl, you know
girl,
it's
you know
true."
It's girl, you
Yeah.
know it's.
And so, the "girl, you know it's" part. And so, that was Rob's. That was the song. That was his part.
Yeah.
So he got stuck and he kept repeating it, and he's like, dude, like, and then he panics and runs out.
Yeah.
So then somebody goes after him and they convince him, hey, come and finish the song. So he comes back, he's scared, nervous, you know, but they finish the song. Yeah. And at the time, what Fab said was that there wasn't really much worry about it. Like, people didn't really seem to care about it at that time. So there was really like nothing.
Because they said that they used to do like mixes like that.
Yeah.
So that they thought it was just something like that, like a little mix.
Yeah, it was just like an isolated incident.
Yeah. But he was saying that like when they kept saying that, he's like, I can't repeat this like 20, 30 times.
Yeah, because it was repeating.
Yeah, so that's why he kind of freaked.
I don't know. I kind of feel like somebody did that on purpose.
That's messed up.
I kind of, because...
Why would you do that?
Come on. Like, I feel like somebody was trying to mess with them or, you know? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But, so what happened was these, Rob and Fab were hired to sing, right? And so they were lip singing songs that were pre-recorded from other artists or other people that were singing them in the background.
Yeah.
So they pretty much were just dancing and pretending to sing, which it wasn't their voice, it wasn't their music. So one of the backup singers, his name was Charles Shaw, which was one of the voices that from this track. He revealed in December of 1989 that he was one of the actual vocalists from the album, and that Politis and Morvan were imposters. So he came out and he was at the tabloids trying to get his story out. But Frank Farian, he's like, oh, we got to shut him up.
Yeah.
So they paid him $150,000 to retract his statements. So I feel like that was the beginning of the issues and the problems that they faced.
So on November 1990, Farian announced that he had fired them and confessed that they did not sign the records.
No, they didn't sing the records.
Oh, they didn't sing the records? My bad. That they didn't sing the records. Quote, I feel like a mosquito being squeezed, Pilates said. Quote, the last 2 years of our lives have been a total nightmare. We've had to lie to everybody. We are true singers, but that maniac Frank Farian would never allow us to express ourselves. End quote. So that's kind of how they felt about it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. And that year, Rob and Fab had their Grammy revoked, and they spoke to journalists at a press conference, and there were also multiple class lawsuits.
Yeah.
And I saw that interview where they were like, and they're like, yeah, this is how everything went down, and they're like, and we can sing, and they even did like a little like,
they kind of showed, they demonstrated that they were able to sing.
Yeah, that they were able
to
sing.
But there was also the class lawsuits. I think one of them was dismissed, but there was a second lawsuit that actually went through. So they had to either return money for the concerts that they had gone to.
Yeah.
And then also return money from CDs that people had bought.
Wow.
So
they didn't really make much.
Yeah, they didn't make. I mean, I think they made money, but not enough. And then after, I think it's Frank Farian, since he was a producer, he's the one that had to come up with the money. So, in 1993, Rob and Fab went on to sing and record with a new producer. And the new producer that they chose wasn't a well-known producer, so their material wasn't promoted as well as it should have been, or as somebody else that had experience would have done it. So they only ended up selling 200 copies.
Yeah, but they did like want to start the career. You know, they really were interested in singing. They didn't get that opportunity.
Yeah, and then Frank Farian kept telling him, okay, I'm gonna let you sing, and just keep putting it in the back burner.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't really get to work do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So the new CD that they made, I think it was called Rob and Fab, it was pretty, it was good. Like, I saw one of the videos and it didn't seem like they didn't know how to sing or they didn't know what they were doing. Like, it was actually like pretty good. So that pretty much didn't go anywhere. Like, but so after that, Frank got, or I don't know how it happened, but they got back into communication with Frank Farian, and they started working on a new record. And so in this record, in this album, they were gonna sing with the original voices. So it was gonna be like a collaboration. But on the eve of April of 1998, April 2nd, that's when they were gonna release their CD, their first, you know, I guess
like
their comeback. It was a comeback.
Okay.
And so that day, sadly, Rob Politis was found dead of a suspected alcohol and prescription drug overdose in a hotel in Frankfurt, Germany. So his death was ruled accidental. Sorry. And he had actually been struggling with alcohol and drugs, and also he had some criminal. Oh yeah. Yeah, because they talked about him. Yeah, he got arrested. So he had, I guess it hit him pretty hard, and because he really wanted to be famous, and he wanted to go somewhere, and so, you know, his escape was probably getting into addictions. Yeah. Which was really sad. You know, it was sad, and it was I don't know. I feel like he was such a great. Yeah. He had so much potential. He was only like, when he passed away, he was 33. He was young, which was really sad, and I wish he could have been here now to see that, you know.
None of that would have mattered.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah. So, Fab went on to continue singing. He also did some motivational speaking, and he's also worked with the guy that used to talk, I guess do his voice. His name is John Davis, and they've done concerts together. So it's pretty cool. I've heard them sing together, and it was like nice to hear, to know that they got along. And there have been rumors since 2007 that there's a film that's gonna be made on their life, which I think would be super interesting.
Yeah, that would be super interesting.
Yeah, because it's like this story and like the outcome and what happened, I think needs to be told.
Yeah, that would definitely.
That's something I would totally want to watch that movie. And then Fab had a recent interview in Access Hollywood, and he hinted that he was in Los Angeles working on a project. So I'm thinking that, and they kind of hinted, could it be the movie? And he's like, well, why do you think I'm here? Oh. You know? So I feel like hopefully they do make the movie, but I don't know. Like, it's just the whole situation. But Fab is still out there producing, making music, singing. He actually has a really nice voice. Yeah? Yeah, he sings really sweet. Like, you can tell he's been practicing, and he sings like really good. So, yeah.
Maybe it all just came down to that. You know, the more you practiced, like.
Which I feel like Frank should have gave them, you know, the instructors to help them with voice. Yeah. And like dancing, and which they didn't really need dancing because instructors, but
even when they did that like press conference and they're like, well, yeah, we can sing it, check us out, and they did it, like they were pretty spot on, man.
Yeah, they were, and it was just really sad, you know, how it all happened. And they were even like, after all of this happened, like after they, you know, everything was found out, they would always make fun of them. So they even did a commercial where they were pretending to sing, and then all of a sudden like it skips, and then they're like, oh,
messed up.
Yeah. And then I think that they would do skits on like making fun of them.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Man. Which I don't know how, I mean, that's pretty intense. Yeah. To have to go through that, and then
first you're basically being bullied.
Yeah, because first you're like really famous, well liked, well known, and then all of a sudden you're the joke of Hollywood. Like, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. And it is bullying. And it caused, you know, Rob to, you know,
to go into that
depression.
situation.
Yeah, to a depression where he he felt the escape was using drugs.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it's not a big deal now because
Yeah.
people always lip sync. Like famous people are always lip syncing.
Yeah.
Which, okay, it's not the same thing because they're using their own voice, but still, like, you know?
Yeah.
And
that's true.
the other thing too is that they actually work their butts off
Yeah.
to do the dancing, the choreography.
They were performers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were.
And the concerts that they would do, that's work, dude. Like, you're not just going around doing concerts and not getting tired and, no, they have to put in work, all that dancing, all that, all those concerts, meeting the needs of the people that want to go see you or signing or pictures, all that. They were still famous to me.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like if they would have had the proper representation and the proper, maybe the new Frank Furion project that they had going was gonna be successful.
Yeah, and I feel like if you look back at it, like you look at them and they're still Milli Vanilli. You know
they
what I mean?
are because okay, so there's the real people. So Frank Furion, after he exposed them, then he tried to get the real singers, and they called them the real Milli Vanilli. And so they did songs, they came out, and people were just like they didn't really get far, you know. So that's why they were trying to do the project again with them, because people just loved the way that they looked, their charisma, their dancing moves. So everything was pretty,
it just fit in well.
Yeah, it was. And I'm still a fan. Like Frank and Rob, even though Rob's tragically not here anymore. I wish he was, because I mean, even a movie now, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
And so I think that he would have been happy with how far it's gotten.
Yeah, especially like generations later, you know.
And people still like them. Like I heard their song the other day on the radio.
See, look at that, man.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, this is a good song.
It is a good song.
So how do you feel about it though?
How do I feel about the incident? I feel like I said, it didn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like, it was sad that they put them through that situation and that they didn't let them sing because they had the will for it. They wanted to do it,
They were passionate about it.
Yeah, they were passionate about it.
And it was also, like, it's just the fact that guy, because the guy, like, I was trying to find interviews from Frank to see if maybe, he had a different story, but I don't really, most of the interviews were in German, which I didn't understand.
Yeah.
But he didn't really, want to talk about it or say anything about it. So that just goes to show that he was just like, whatever, I don't really care.
And I feel like the opportunity should have been given to them. They had that hunger for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just a really unfair situation. That's like my opinion. It's really unfair.
They were bullied.
Yeah, it shouldn't have gone the way it did. And I feel like...
Do you feel like it's their fault?
No, I don't feel like it's their fault.
I mean, in part,
I feel like they came, maybe with the Hollywood dream,
Everybody would. I mean, I would take if somebody came to me and be like, hey, you lip sync, and I'm just gonna...
I know, who's not gonna want to take that opportunity?
And you're just gonna be the face of it. And I'd be like, oh yeah, one more sign,
yeah, I feel like anybody, that would attract anybody.
Yeah.
It would reel anyone in.
And then especially when you get money up front for it, it's like, oh, now I have this commitment, now I have to do it, which was what Frank Furion did. He gave them money that they couldn't pay back, so now there was no way that they can get out of it.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, it was an unfair situation for them.
And I felt like he used them.
Yeah.
He used them to... And then, he made them do that, and then all of a sudden, he decides to tell people, yeah, they're imposters, I was lying. But nothing happened to him. He's not the one that took all the backlash and, all the angry... people trying to come at him. It was the guys.
Yeah, it was them. And how could it have been handled? Blame everything on that dude. Right?
Yeah.
Blame everything on him.
I think they should have given Frank Furion some jail time.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean? I don't feel like they were at fault here for how stuff went down. And I feel like there's artists, okay, yeah, your voice doesn't sound like you know, what you're supposed to or whatever. There's artists that don't sound like themselves.
Yeah, they don't. Not
They
in live.
don't. Yeah, you'll see them perform live, and it's like you compare it to like the CD, and it's like not the same.
It doesn't sound the same, no.
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same. And then there's just like artists who just sing bad, who have like not really good voices.
They don't have talent?
Yeah, they don't have talent, and they still make it. You know, they're
Yeah.
still famous, and it's like these dudes should have been given a chance.
Yeah,
You know?
And I feel like I don't know why people took it so personally. Like,
yeah,
come
like,
on.
why you take it so personal too?
Back in the 80s, I guess, you know, they
I
would be
know.
like so sensitive, and it's like, dude. But like now, it's like I don't feel people would have taken it as harshly as they.
Yeah, I feel like it
was.
wouldn't. Yeah,
But I feel like
it wouldn't
maybe
have
some
case-
people would get pissed. They'd be like, "Oh, well, they lied to us to our face, okay?" But they're still acting. They're still
performers.
dancing. They're still performing for you. That's what you're there for.
Yeah,
And the music
For a
is still
show.
there.
yeah, the music's still there.
Maybe if they would have been like, "Oh, we're dancers, but we don't sing it. Like we're just
Yeah,
like kind of, you know, like people do that all the time.
They- yeah.
Imitation.
I
They
feel
imitate.
Like, yeah, I feel like they do it all the time.
Like
so,
there's
like,
Michael Jackson imitators, Selena
Yeah.
imitators. There's
there is. You're correct. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
there is a
So-
bunch of imitators, man.
Yeah, and there's people that go out there to pretend to be like Mariah Carey or
Yeah,
what's that girl? The one
Which
with the
girl was that?
ponytail? Ariana Grande too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know, like
y'all.
come on now.
Whatever.
You know, like it's just unfair. And yeah, dude, there's artists like we've said. You go to concerts and they don't even sound the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you sure you even wrote this song? You know what I mean?
And if they didn't,
And I don't know if it's because they be using a bunch of auto tune or who knows what.
there's auto-tune too, dude. That's not even their voice.
I know, dude. They get
And
it all
people
auto-tune.
like T-Pain.
like
Dude, like T-Pain uses nothing but like his auto-tune voice that anybody can do. And then like now people ain't giving him crap about it.
I know, man. So it's just unfair. You know, I don't know why. You're right. I don't know why people took it so personal in the 80s, man.
Yeah, they took it very personal. And I feel like all the 80s people that took it that personal owe
And
them
then-
an apology.
Yeah, and then now they're like, oh, look. You know, they didn't really commit any crimes because this is how all artists are.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah, there's some really like shady
Yeah.
artists out there.
yeah.
But I hear like Frank Furion, I guess it was a common thing for him. You would get other artists and do the same thing. Like there was the CNC group too that the main artist, the woman, wasn't the one singing. It was an actual other person that was, you know, and she would pretend to sing. So
And
it's
then-
the same situation.
And then, like, I feel like if you're gonna blame stuff on like, oh, they had accents. How many artists have accents? Homie?
Dude, I
you
think
know what I mean?
with their accents, I think they would
Yeah,
still made
like
it
I would have
now.
still heard it, man.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, they would have made it now. You know why? Because now you see a lot of collaborations with artists
Yes.
from that speak different languages, and you
like
see them
Bad
collaborate.
Bunny.
Yeah, dude.
Like
They collaborate with people who only
like
sing
dude,
English.
like Drake with
Bad Bunny, yeah,
Yeah.
Or with the Aventura guy, Romeo.
Yeah.
You know, like you see a bunch of collaborations, so like language shouldn't be a barrier for anybody.
I feel like that was low key, like what is it like? Because of their ethnic background.
Their ethnicity, like
No.
it was like prejudice.
Yeah, a little bit, no?
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe he was being
it's
a little.
like let them, man. They knew the songs, man. Like why, you know?
Yeah. I don't know,
So-
but anywho,
Yeah.
what's your opinion on it?
Yeah? What do you guys think?
Yeah, listen to their song. It's
You guys
amazing.
think it
Their
matters?
music. They have two of my favorites is The Girl You Know It's True and then I'm Gonna Miss You.
Yeah. Girl,
They're
You Know
really
It's
good.
True is good. Take a listen because it's really good stuff.
Yeah.
And and the video too. Watch the video because the dance moves are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all we have this week. If you guys have any more suggestions, let us know.
Yeah.
And thank you. And have a good day. Good
Rest of the
weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.